Happy Monday, everyone. How many of you out there like to ride your bike? And how many of those have ridden their bikes before and found themselves suddenly being chased by some dog? That's scary. That's happened to me more than a few times, whether it be on a mountain bike or a road bike. I love the bike. In fact, I do a lot of what's called a kick bike. I get a little bit more exercise out of it sometimes. I can just hop right on it, use one leg and then use the other leg. And I got it all rigged up here so I could hook old Captain up to the front. He can be like a sled dog and actually pull the kick bike and do a little bit of what's called urban sledding. So that's one of my little favorite pastimes. But I tell you what, it's not my favorite pastime when I'm suddenly find myself being chased by a dog. And that's what happened to a good friend of mine, Byron, this weekend. He was out riding and trying to get some good exercise in, a beautiful day on Saturday. And suddenly he was attacked by a large, big chocolate lab. Now, Byron, he's in pretty good shape. And he's a bicycle enthusiast, so he could out-pedal me any day of the week. But Byron made a bad mistake. He thought he could out-pedal the dog. And let me tell you something, dogs are deceptively fast. And I'll explain why here in a second. But number one, why do dogs pursue people on bicycles? There's a lot of theory behind it, but one of the things that I've noticed that several things kick it off. One, just good old primordial instinct. That's what it is. It is the thrill of the hunt. It is chasing. Your dog came from chasing animals. Wolves want their prey to run. They do not want their prey to stand still. Anything that stands still has a much better chance of surviving against a pack of wolves than an animal that's running. So they don't want that. They want to run them down, run them into cardio debit, get their muscles weak, grab them and pull them to the ground when they're the most vulnerable, because most wolves are super athletes, and so are a lot of dogs. So chasing is a tactic that works very good for them, and it's been passed down through the millennia. And also wolves and dogs, free-ranging dogs that have been studied, do what's called surplus killing, meaning, and that's just evidence of the thrill of the hunt, meaning wolves will sometimes kill up to 9 elk and only feed on one or feed on none and just keep moving. Yeah, you think you're getting a little bit of cabin fever right now? You guys just want to get out and go do something? So do these dogs. The thrill of the hunt. Free-ranging dogs have been studied and have been noticed to do what's called surplus killing. They'll do the same thing. They'll kill dozens of chickens, goats, sheep, and not feed on a single one and just move on. So yeah, that's prey instinct. Chase it down, run it down. It can have some mixture or a byproduct of what we call territorial aggression. Yeah, I've got a valuable resource here. This is my home range, and you are an intruder in my home range. You would be nothing more than a very animated, because when you pedal bike, those legs are going, they're going really fast, so you're super animated. Your legs are going real quick and you're moving at a high rate of speed. So therefore, some animals who are territorially protective will get pursuit simply to run the intruder off. But others, it doesn't matter. My territory, your territory, doesn't matter where I am. If you're riding a bicycle, it's game on. And here they come. So that being said, one of the biggest things you got to watch out for is thinking that you can outride this animal. Know this, I owned 2 dogs at one time. One, his name was Dax, D-A-X-X. The other one, his name was Ciro. They were both German Shepherds, but Dax was like a linebacker. He's big, he was a brute, he was just a beast. Ciro was jet black, sleek, and fast as greased lightning. He could outrun Dax every day of the week. But Dax caught him every day of the week because why? Ciro would run like this, and Dax did good math. Yeah, Dax was an A student when it came to math. He cut the angles. He always cut the angles. So after about 20 seconds and 10 angles, that was it. He caught Ciro. So know this, if you have a dog that is flat out motoring in your direction, ears back, low to the ground, A, This ain't that dog's first rodeo. It's done it before. Oh, no dog gives a full commitment like that because you're the first one. Oh no, they experimented at a much lesser speed before. Then they kept getting success, and they went back to math school. So that's why a dog can run you down that you think doesn't look like it can. That's a big dog. That's a heavy dog. I can outrun that dog. Dax was about 85 pounds of pure muscle. Ciro, 45, 50 on a good day. He ran him down with ease. So again, even look at the topography. I mean, you're driving down the road here. The dog lives in this house right here, and you're headed this way. Well, yeah, you go around that curve there because you kind of have to. You're on a road bike. He doesn't. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. They're smart. They're savvy. So I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to try to outrun a dog unless you just flat know you can't. If it's a small Maltese, a Yorkie, or whatever, or even if the consequences of the dog catching up to you really aren't going to be a big deal for you, can be for the dog. A lot of these dogs also, you need to keep in mind, don't want to actually grab you. They want to grab the bike itself, which I think is almost doubly hazardous. Let them grab your front tire and you go over that thing at the 25, 30 miles per hour that you're probably pedaling to get away from it, and that can cause a fatality, and it certainly has many times. If the animal does try to grab you, of course, where are they going to try and grab you? By the back of your leg, which down here is your Achilles tendon. I had a good friend of mine had his Achilles tendon ripped out in such an incident. He walks around with a cane and has done so for now over 30 years. Be careful, guys. This is serious, serious stuff. These animals are running. Whether they just want to chase the bike and grab the bike, they can cause you to crash. If they're attacking you, they're going to bite you. And once they get a hold of you, they're not going to let go. You are coming off of that bike. And when you do, now you're down. You're probably still clipped into your pedals. You got a bicycle on top of you, and you also have a dog on top of you. This is serious stuff. So Byron asked me, he goes, Bryan, what do? I didn't want to mace the dog because I didn't want to cause permanent damage. Well, I'm going to tell you what, Byron, here's a couple things here. Number one, let's just address the mace right off the bat. I've written in my book, The Hammer, Why Dogs Attack Us and How to Prevent It. I carry around bear mace with me. You bet. Here's one of my cans right off my shelf at home. I carry it right here on my side. Sometimes it's in a chest holster. Just depends on what else I've got on me, what other kind of gear I have. No matter what, I want quick access to bear mace. Because why? Number one, it will not cause permanent damage. I've been hit with this stuff by accident. Oh, it knocked me down. Oh yeah, I did. I created some new flopping dance on the ground, and my eyes were swollen up for about 6 hours afterwards, but I fully recovered. When I was a police canine officer going through the law enforcement academy, they sprayed us in the face with regular OC pepper spray, right in our face. We had to take it. I remember me, I was like number 6 in line, and I'm looking at the other 5 guys that had already gotten sprayed, and they were doing this so that you would know what it was like, the effect behind it. And I said, excuse me, 1 second, hold on, easy before you spray me. I've got really honed observation skills. And I have noticed what this stuff does and what it has done to those 5 fellas right there. So I think I'm good to go. Spray right then and there. Yeah, it's happened to me on purpose. It's happened to me accidentally as a police canine officer. I got sprayed by 2 other police officers. I have sprayed a bear, and I have sprayed other dogs that tried to attack me and cause me bodily harm. I saw that bear again. I saw 2 of the dogs I sprayed again. The other ones I never did see again. And they were all well and fine. And so was I. And that's what counts here. So yeah, I like bear spray over pepper spray. Bear spray, you can hit an animal 35 to 40 feet away in a good strong wind. Hear that? 35 to 40 feet. That's as close as I want that animal to be. That's really too close for comfort already. Pepper spray, 6 feet, strong wind, it's back on you. So bear mace is my tool. All you got to do is throw the safety off right here, 1 second, and spray. That's it. In about 0.5 seconds, if you're really good at it, you got it done. You can fire from the hip, you can fire from the chest. You just got to get close. You don't have to get right on them. Just ricochet it off the ground, ricochet it off a tree, off a bush. Game over. It's done. It is done. The dog doesn't have to have the full effect of it, and it is over. And it works the same way with human beings. So bear mace. I'll put a link on this thread today on a couple of brands that I highly recommend. Okay, you're one of these people, you're going, oh God, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Well, if you're one of those, I'll be glad to send you a whole lot of graphic pictures, and maybe it'll change your mind. You might be able to do it after you see these pictures. But if you are one of those, then think about using your bike as a shield. I mean, I can take this little kick bike here. If I'm on it, dog's coming, boom, I've got a shield right in front of me. I can fend that dog off with my bike, at least until hopefully the owner of that dog realizes what's going on. But don't always count on that. These dogs are so high up in drive, their stress response is so high, they won't even hear their owner. Their owner will have to come and physically grab their dog. Some of these dogs are not even trained to come when called. Yeah, so don't count on the owner coming to your rescue. I've even had to fend off a dog, not with a bike. I fended off with a walking stick one time, and I thought I was going to have to fend off the owner at the same time. They were mad at me. I'm 100 yards off their property being attacked by their dog, and their attitude is, what are you doing trying to hit my dog? I'm trying to stay alive. It's a big animal, and it meant me serious harm. But welcome to dog ownership. You get some people who just don't fit in their square peg trying to jam into a round hole. Rest of us kind of get it. But that being said, think about using your bike as a last resort. If you can get off of it fast enough, stand there safely, shield yourself from the dog. That's your only choice. You've got to be able to do this. And in tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about what happens if you're a pedestrian, if you're a jogger, and now you're attacked by a dog. What strategies do you employ in that situation? Because you could turn very quickly from a bicyclist to that pedestrian. And now you got to know what to do when the shield fails, you didn't have your bear mace with you. What do I do now, Bryan? How do I survive this outcome? And if you do what I tell you to do, you're going to walk away from it. Or if not, you're definitely going to walk away from it in a few weeks. You will survive the incident. Okay, guys, I hope you found this helpful. Be safe riding your bicycle out there. It's dangerous enough as it is trying to dodge cars and everyone else out there, let alone someone that is irresponsible with their dog. Because again, this should never happen. If we were good dog owners and we took responsibility for our dogs, like I said, if you're under a full attack from a dog, it is not the first time this dog has done this behavior, which means that the owner should have good knowledge what their dog can do, should have predictive information, and should try to take control. But you can't always count on that. So again, who can I count on? I can count on me. Me, using my brain, having the right equipment, my mace, having a good bike I can hop off of. Sometimes I even know where the dog lives. He chased me before, but I got away. Now I know where he lives over here. I know where she lives around that next corner. I'm ready. Maybe my feet come out of those stirrups. Maybe I'm ready to go until I get past that. Got my AirPods turned off. I'm aware. That's so much about surviving on this world when you have hazardous things around you is awareness. Okay, guys, tomorrow we will talk about what happens if you're a pedestrian. And then the day after that, I'm going to talk about what happens if you're walking your dog and a dog is running loose in the neighborhood and now it comes up to your dog. Holy moly, you got control of your dog. Now what are you going to do with that darn thing? So we'll be covering this over the next couple of days, so make sure you tune in. And if you found this information valuable to you or you think anyone else that's a bicyclist, maybe you're not, send it to them. Let them check it out. And I'll be sure to put a couple links to the bear mace that I recommend. And do your own research on it, guys. I'm telling you, I owned a vet hospital for many years, and we had many police canine dogs come in that were maced. We had many other dogs come in that were maced. We had several animals come in that were bear maced, and they were all perfectly fine. So do it, Ben. It's a matter of you or the dog sometimes. Check you out tomorrow.